Ready?
Let's roll.
A difference in size. But they both had a mighty punch.
Let's fucking go! I mean, it just...
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another BDE podcast. My name is Stephen Hawley, and I'm here in the studio with my main man. He's so fly, he's an ostrich. Sheldon Walker.
The music just cut off like right there. That was perfect. That was absolutely
Sheldon,
wonderful.
my friend. How are you today?
I'm doing fantastic. Steven, it is good to have you back in the studio.
It's been a minute since we were in BDE.
It feels
here.
a little weird. I'm used to looking at this
Just
to look
stared at the screen.
Yeah, and now you're sitting here in real life person. I'm a little like I don't know how to handle
It's
it.
intimidating.
It is.
Like, I don't want to. I want to be able to look at you virtually while I don't like you. Looking at you like as
In
a
person,
human,
yeah.
like, it's a whole different game.
Because now it's gonna get hot. It's gonna get spicier.
I love it.
Oh man, we have a good show in store for you guys today. A big one. We've got some BD, LDE, as always. We got some fantastic ones. We also got a little Gator talk. That seems to be seems to be a big thing we got going on. They're looking good, better and better each week. But we're going to talk about that a little bit. Baseball playoffs. We haven't really dabbled into baseball too much.
Haven't touched it.
And that's how baseball works.
Right. Nobody cares until the end.
You care in April. You don't care in between.
Don't care in between.
And then you care right about right now.
That's about
For the 162 games, that's kind of how that
for
engine
94
flows.
of them, nobody cares at all.
Whatever. Yeah, it doesn't matter. You carry a little bit in the middle during All-Star Week. After that, we move on.
And then we move right on.
We have a new segment we're going to have.
We'll touch on something new here for the folks.
Yeah, we've done a little bit on our own, but we're gonna expand on it. I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't want to go any further than that.
You should.
It's gonna be fresh though. So to make sure you stay to the end and watch that because it's gonna be good stuff. It's gonna be fantastic. Holly, first things first. First order of business. BD LDE. Do you want to go ahead and take the LDE because this is your thing. This is your bread and butter.
A little bit. I mean, the BDE. We had a bit of a brawl over the weekend. A little squabble.
We did.
An organized squabble.
We did.
A thing that we like to call the UFC.
We did. Listen, it's been a while since we've had a good fight night. And the card was okay. But the BDE moment of the week was the championship fight, the last fight of the night.
Yep.
They waited. They gave us the show at the end. Brian Ortega. Okay, BDE moment of the week. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, Brian, I'm pretty sure he lost.
Yeah, he did lose.
He did.
But
however, sometimes you don't have. What was it that you said earlier in the cast?
That you're so fly, you're an ostrich.
No. Before the precast, you talked about you don't have to be a winner to be the BDE.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, we all know that even if you're the BDE, you're going to be LDE next week anyway, regardless of the fact.
That's true. But thankfully, we haven't had time to see if who was our BDE? The Ravens. If they have an opportunity to be the LDE yet, that's still up in the air because we talked about them on Monday. They haven't played yet.
Right.
They
have time.
They have a lot of time. We wanted to get this early so we could get a new LDE. But BDE was Brian Ortega. And the reason why he was BDE because this man got the absolute smack
Pummeled.
beat out of him. We couldn't even tell who the man was at the end of the fight. They had a picture of the before and after, and I didn't know who it was. Now you're probably like, well, why is he the BDE? There was a point of the fight where he was getting absolutely slaughtered onto the ground. I thought they were going to call it, right? Just getting pounded. He got headbutt on accident, so his nose was broken. He had no airflow. It was not. They kind of like clunked into each other.
Sure.
No flow was going through. Blood's coming out everywhere. Eyes are swollen shut. He's just getting pounded into the ground. They call the round, right? The round ends. He's just laying there. They walk up to him like, "You good? You good? Yeah, I'm good. Ask him how many numbers he is, what's his name, all that. Yeah, exactly. He goes, yeah, 1, 2, 1, 2. And they're like, all right, cool. And then a look comes over this guy's eyes. And I'm watching this with Ricky, and I go, Rick, there's a point in a man's life when you cross this bridge of zero fucks. Right? Where no matter how much that guy was dominating, this guy is now a zombie.
That's it.
And it's not going anywhere.
And the worst thing, and this is what we were talking about, the worst thing for the guy on the other side of the octagon is you can't hurt him now. It's over. It's over. You can't physically hurt that man any more than you already have, and he's still on his feet. He's still coming back at you again. There's nothing left. Yeah. There's nothing left to break unless something literally falls out from under.
Yeah, unless like I said, his brain bounces off his skull and makes him fall down, or his ankle breaks. he is not going
Yeah,
anywhere.
it's full honey badger right there.
Yeah.
Honey badger doesn't give a
Honey
shit.
Badger don't care. So the reason why he's a BDE because it was incredible to see him overcome that. And for the last 2 rounds, the amount of effort that man gave was unreal. Now, granted, the champion Alexander did a great
That's about
job
the best
as well.
effort you could have made on
Yeah.
that one.
But because when you see somebody like that, what do? You're not, like you said, you're not going to knock him out. It's just I got to just last now for 2 rounds
Yeah,
and just
you
keep
protect
towing
yourself.
off. Yeah, because this guy is an absolute machine at this
he's
point.
like full Wolverine
He was
mode.
running into the punches. It got to the point where he was just like taking onto the chin. He wasn't getting phased.
There's only so many bones you can break in your face, and once they're all gone,
What are we doing here?
Just go.
Yeah, so it was a great fight. BDE for Brian Ortega. It's kind of different. Usually, it's all about the hoop.
Yeah.
But I respect a good fight, and I respect the energy.
And I respect the hell out of that guy's face, which probably doesn't look anything like his mama knows him.
I know. I wish there was a thing like a follow up on the next day to see how some of these people looked because it'd be interesting to see.
I have to imagine he has a broken nose and at least one broken orbital socket.
Around the eyes.
Yeah.
The nose is 1,000% broken. The thing was
sure.
swollen when he left.
I mean, there may be some cranial something or other going on, but look, at the end of the day, if you take that much of a beating and you get your feet back on you, you don't give a shit about.
Continue to attack.
You don't give a shit about the how many fingers. Like I don't know, 1 or 2. It doesn't matter. Well, hit the one in the middle, bro. Hit the guy in the middle. There's 4 of them.
Yeah, I was telling Rick, I was like, bro, they're asking this guy mathematical questions. He's in a machine right now. He knows all he knows is he has to kill the guy in front of him. He's not trying to solve math. Let's move out of the man's way.
And he didn't. But at the end of the day,
he did not solve the math problem. He didn't kill the guy in front of him either. But moving on to the LDE moment of the week. I love this. This might be my favorite. Look, we might agree on
for once in our lives.
This
Shelton.
is a full agreement. We're like, hey, I love this. This is my favorite LDE. I would say to date. I can't think of another one that's been my favorite. Honestly, probably with Jameis when I picked Jameis. Yeah, but we were in agreement on that. No. I think out of an agreement as a team, as a unit, LDE moment.
As an LDE moment of agreement and. Golf clap me. There it is. Oh, my goodness. The LDE moment of the week.
What is it, Holly?
Good grief. This makes me so happy. Clemson. Clem's son.
Down goes Frazier.
Can suck it long and suck it hard, Trebek. Yeah, see, and so the ACC and like all the other conferences are not like the SEC. Like, we want to see our rivals lose. We want to see them go down. Like, you guys root for one another in scenarios. But look, nothing made me happier than watching Clemson just
choke it up.
Yeah, just like the bottom fall out of them.
Look, I think that's going to make the Florida State Clemson game a lot more interesting. I think Florida State's going to get some things turned around. You guys play them a little bit later on, right? More towards the middle.
Yep.
And it's like the Notre Dame game. There's going to be some hype behind it. I think now they're going to see that Clemson lost NC State. It's going to be a little bit of energy. Like, look, they're beatable.
Chink in the armor. Yeah,
they're beatable, right? So I'm excited for that game.
It was an overtime game. I mean, it was
second overtime.
Yeah, second overtime. It was a live atmosphere. Like I know, look, the ACC doesn't have the fan following and the stadium sizes of the SEC.
Sure,
but Carter Finley Stadium
was bumping.
Yeah, they're known for having a pretty raucous crowd.
It's
not like the wine and cheese crowd of like North Carolina. Like the Tar Heels are very hoity-toity out there.
Duke.
Yes, Duke, exactly. Like, but Carter Finley, like they don't have much of a basketball team. Like they're surrounded by North Carolina basketball, Duke basketball.
Sure.
So NC State, that's their thing. Football is their thing. So
big win.
It was going wild in the stadium, and that was fun to watch. And then they rushed the field. My favorite part is in Clemson. So Clemson's field technically belongs to the state or something of that nature. There's some weird nuance to it, to where every game the fans are allowed to get on the field after the game. It's not like trespassing or anything like that.
Yeah,
like it's just part of their tradition where the fans get on the field.
Yeah, I've noticed that more.
They do it all the time. But then as Clemson is leaving and taking their L, their fans are all pissed off, or their players are all pissed off that there's fans on the field. Like, they're trying to push them out of the way. Like, you guys do this you beat a team by 75 points in like Wofford, the Terriers, and you beat them by 75, and everybody rushes the field, and then like you get your ass whipped, and then
you want to be
a little
about it.
That you are the LDE moment of the week, Clemson. Take it, suck it, long, baby. Oh, I'm so pumped.
What's going to be interesting to me is to see how they bounce back. They haven't faced any adversity like this in a very long time, especially Dabu.
Yep.
So it's going to be cool to see how they bounce back from that. you're an ACC guy, and I know you like to see your ACC guys lose. They were your statue for the ACC. I mean, they held that together of like, hey, ACC is reasonable. Now who?
Not much.
Because North Carolina lost this week too.
Yes.
Again.
And they lost the first game of the year.
They lost the first game of the year.
Yeah.
No, to Virginia.
Was it Virginia?
Virginia, yeah.
But I know they were.
They got that hot quarterback. I mean, they were supposed to be fan favorites too.
Yeah, Sam.
Miami was for somehow ranked. They can't buy a game.
Yeah.
I mean, ACC looks rough.
It is not a good year for the ACC, to say the least, to say the absolute least. And look, with Clemson going through some issues, just that's an understatement of the century.
Yeah.
They haven't had struggles like this, so so it's going to be interesting to see who can be the pillar,
the new voice for the ACC.
For the ACC, and it doesn't
still could be Clemson, but right now I don't know. It could be anybody. Could be anybody's ball game.
Yeah, they don't look competitive right now, not on a high level.
Moving from the ACC into the best conference ever, the SEC. Gators got another W last night, against Tennessee.
A little gritty there in the first.
Gritty in the first half. They were favored by 18. They covered their points, which I was happy about. To me, that was like, look, it's not a real win unless we cover, because we were such favorites, and we just had such a great game against Bama.
Sure. Well, Tennessee really does have your number.
Yeah, so I wasn't going to be too worried about it, but they haven't won it forever. But
won since 2003.
But it's always a good game.
Like
it's always a good game. Any of those games, like the Tennessee game, the Florida State game, those games are always good games because Kentucky, they play a little bit. You know what I mean?
But the Tennessee one is different. The Tennessee one is Tennessee can't ever beat Florida.
I think it's a curse.
It's something. I mean, even Peyton Manning in all his glory went 0 for 4.
0 for 4.
I want to say the last time that Tennessee won in Gainesville might have been like 0-1.
Could be even longer than that. I'm not quite sure on that one, to be honest with you.
I know that after September 11, that was the week. When September 11 happened, it was Tuesday, and that was supposed to be the Florida Tennessee game that week.
Okay.
And they pushed it. All the sports stopped that week.
Sure.
But they pushed it to where you guys had to play Florida State and Tennessee back to back. And I think that's when Tennessee won.
Got that because of a little
Travis
bit of strength in the schedule.
Yeah, I think there was
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been too long for it.
No. It's been a good time.
It's
been a solid time.
Depends on which color orange you're wearing.
So the question is, again, they did well. They came out first half looked a little wobbly. Second half they didn't let them score at all.
Right.
Unscored in the second half. The defense is the biggest issue right now. I think their offense is getting stronger and more cohesive with each game. Emory Jones just seemed to really step up and take over that role, which is good because I know he was fighting with Anthony Richards getting hurt, getting that little hammy at the USF game might have been the best thing for the Gators, to be honest. Because we were all out here screaming AR-15. When you have that, you've got the drama. Look, this is why Dave Mullen's the coach. And I was calling him out saying he's going to ride it too long. Emory's done a good job the last 2 games.
Just like his brother Dan. Does a hell of a job.
What did I say?
Dave.
Dave Mullen. My bad, guys. I don't even know why I said Dave. So I think Emory's really kind of finding his groove. He looks good. The offense looks good. The running offense looks fantastic. Again, the defense is what needs to get it figured out, which I think they're going to. Hopefully, they're still missing their best defensive player.
Yeah, their middle linebacker.
Yeah, the middle linebacker. So that plays a factor into it. But it's going to be interesting to see. They got some tough games still. They don't have an easy schedule by any means.
No. The one thing I will say, and this is just from the outside looking in, and if Florida was my team, I'm sure I'd be a lot more critical of them. But from the outside looking in, coming into the year, defense was a huge question mark for you guys. It was a question on whether Todd Grantham could turn the defense around. They did not have a good year last year, even with Trask and a lot of the
they played solid, but not where I think where we expected.
Not championship, not good enough to win. Not good enough to win a championship.
Fair enough.
But with this year, I'll be honest, I know that you can really kind of nitpick the defense apart, but you guys are down your best player. You just held Tennessee to a scoreless second half.
Sure.
And then you just held Alabama, probably one of the best rushing teams, to under 100 yards. I think honestly at this point there's not a lot to be disappointed about with the defense.
So I think what's funny is because the Gators have been known as a known defense team for a while. The offense hasn't really been a thing since Tebow, so we've always been heavy on the defense and crap on the offense. Sure. Now it's kind of changed a little bit, so it's weird for me as a fan to watch it because I'm used to our defense being pretty stout. right and sound.
Because you guys were in a period for so long, kind of like where FSU is now, where the quarterback play is was so below average that your defense had to be that great. And then so that's of course the thing that you relied on. Well, now that your offense starts to click, right, and Trask was there last year, and you guys had a great offense. Well, now you immediately look to the defense. This year it looks balanced. It looks balanced. I mean, you guys are going through some growing pains on the offensive side, but I think the defense has done enough to put you guys in a position to where even the Alabama game, like, I mean, what more could you have asked for out of your defense in that game?
I think a big part of it too is we're kind of, like you said, more balanced than we've been before, and a lot of other teams aren't really kind of clicking on all cylinders.
Right.
You got Georgia and Bama, but you see everybody else. Nobody else in the top 10 looks sound by any stretch of the imagination.
Mm-hmm.
Notre Dame's undefeated, but they don't look like they're a powerhouse.
Right.
Oklahoma's undefeated. They look far from a powerhouse because going into Pick'em's later in the week, you picked West Virginia to cover 16. They almost won the game.
They almost won the damn game, yeah.
So
there's a last-second field goal is how OU got out of their own stadium with a win.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see kind of how the whole season plays out. I'm excited for it, but are the Gators a real threat is the question. What do you say?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Look, with AR-15 out, Emory Jones seems to have a little bit more comfort.
Yes.
In the fact that any bad play isn't his last play of the game. The running game has been great. The defense has played significantly better than I think anticipation going in could have predicted. But look, all things considered, they've done what they needed to do. They've walked into a stadium with what everybody is saying is the best team in college football, and they went toe-to-toe with them for all 12 rounds and could have damn near won that game. So I don't think that anybody who's a Florida fan should feel like they aren't going to be competitive for a natty this year.
Sure.
They got to win that Georgia game. That Georgia game is the make or break of their season.
That's where I was headed. Yeah. I said I'll answer this question after Georgia, because that's gonna be the make it or break it. I don't care about placing Bama again in the SEC championship. They have to get through Georgia.
Yep.
Georgia just beat Vandy 62-0. Like what? That might be the most sound team, to be honest with you. I mean, they haven't really played anybody to me to kind of give them that title besides Clemson, and we've established early on in this cast that Clemson isn't anything anyways. No. So who have they beaten? Now the teams they have, they've done well with, but Vandy's Vandy, right? I mean, that's kind of anticipated.
Right. It's
expected to be like that.
It's the basement of the SEC, so
yeah.
you expect that out of Alabama.
Sure. So it'll be fun.
It'll be good. I'm interested to see the development on both sides, offense for Bama and for Florida. I think that's going to be really what determines who's the better team at the end of the year, because both of you guys, Bama and Florida, are both going through quarterback transition.
Sure.
And so I think that whatever happens with both quarterbacks, if they continue to peak, if they have some miscues, whatever the case, I think that'll be what drives each team.
Sure. Moving on, Brooks Koepka drama.
Love him.
This guy is, look, we keep bringing him up, and I know like it's a fun topic for us. We enjoy talking about it. The Ryder Cup is this weekend. U.S. is dominating.
Kicking
up
ass.
11-5. We got single matches today. All we need is 14.5 to bring home the cup. I think it's a lock.
It's close, yeah.
It should be a lock unless, I mean, again, those European guys, they get individual. I mean, they do well, to be honest with you. You got Sergio, who's a powerhouse. John Rahm's been balling out. Victor Hovland has really kind of became a star. Shane Lowry has been hooping. Hooping in the sense they haven't won, but they've done their part. It's been last events have all been team events, and
right. The team events haven't done them
any favors. So it's going to be interesting individually how they
1-on-1 they're going to be.
And Roy is Roy, right? I mean, he can go he's toe to toe, could be one of the best ones of all of them. So it's going to be a fun day. It's going to be a fun day.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge comeback. But what I want to talk about is Brooks and his ridiculousness.
I love him.
See, this is my problem because
I've already hitched my wagon to the Brooks train, so I'm not coming off of it now.
Yeah, you're riding to the dirt.
Don't let me down, Brooksy.
There was a situation where he hit into this little bush, and the rough up in this golf course is insane. Like it looks like the fairway is immaculate, and then the rest of it is like it looks like the side of Highway 95. Like that's what it looks like. It's unreal. And so he got in this little bush, and I couldn't quite hear what they were arguing about, but I believe there was like either a washout or some kind of basically a weathering. The course was not as a natural habitat, something that caused it to be like if it landed in the spot, he would get a free drop because it was basically a washout from the rain or water or whatever it may be. It was natural disaster, essentially, to that area. Well, his ball was close to that mark, and he was concerned about hitting, or I think it was even a marker maybe. I couldn't quite hear what the issue was. He was concerned about it. He wanted to get a drop from it.
Okay.
And he bitched about it and complained about it, and the rules officiator came over and looked at it. He goes, no, man, Brooks, it's fine. You can't drop it. And Brooks was being a dick the entire time to this guy. The entire time. And he looks back at the guy and goes, if I break my fucking wrist, it's on to you.
Did he?
No, he flushed it into like 10 feet.
Damn right he did. At a baby Brooksy.
But that's my point. Is you act like a baby for 5 minutes and then you flushed it. It didn't even phase you. Like, if this was, again, I go back to, if
He
Bryce,
would have been closer if they would have given him the drop.
If Bryson did this, we'd be up in arms. He's a baby. He's spoiled. He's a whiner. He plays slow. He's a scientist. He's this. He's that. And then we're like, oh, yeah, Brooks is the man.
All those things are correct.
This is not okay.
All of those things are correct.
This is not okay. And
This
Brooks
is
hasn't even
absolutely
done anything. He hasn't even really played that well.
He's held his own this week.
I mean, he's had great teammates.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's Spieth. Look of course he's gonna do well. I'm over it. Anytime I get an opportunity to kind of rip this guy a half,
Nope.
I gotta pull this up a little bit. It's hard for people to see it. I'm going to destroy this guy because I can't. I'm over him.
Not on this cast. I'm Brooksy blocking all day. I will Brooksy block you to the death of me.
Well, maybe that help us get Brooksy on here because you're such a big.
Let's go, baby.
You're basically
blowing
him.
I'm basically his cheerleader right now. Brooksy, don't let me down.
You don't even know what's going on. You're like, Brooksy!
Hey! But I mean, I am that guy at a golf tournament, right? Like, I don't mean, like, is that a good shot? I don't know. It looks like a great shot.
Brooksy!
That's his 17th shot of the hole, Steven. What are you talking about?
And Steven's like, no shit.
Oh,
me too.
Yeah.
Me and him both.
I didn't know he could get to the chalet from the fairway. That's awesome. Welcome to it.
Brooks' baby. That's wrapping up on that. Moving on. Baseball playoffs.
My goodness.
I'm a huge baseball guy. Big Braves fan. I haven't talked about it much. We haven't really talked about it too much because we kind of talked about this early on in the cast. Baseball is exciting in the beginning because it's fresh, it's new, right? It lets us know that spring is here.
Yeah, summer's around the corner.
The Super Bowl's been over for a little bit, right?
Yeah, there's no sports really. I mean, you got basketball, hockey, but I mean,
but they're in a weird part at that time too.
Yeah,
they're starting to hit the playoffs right around that time, around April.
Yeah,
right. So it's a nice little fresh.
You have spring training. Like that's like the best name for like the introduction of a sport. It's just spring training.
You get excited for it.
Yeah,
right?
it just feels crispy. Like as soon as you hear the term spring training, you immediately think the days are longer, the air is crisper.
I love it.
There's no clouds in the sky.
Yep.
It's like the first time you heard the Beatles. It's just beautiful.
Yeah.
It's
that's baseball in April. And then you hit a lunch.
And then you hit the summer when it's 100 degrees.
Nobody cares anymore.
Nobody gives a shit.
Right. And then we hit September. Then it's that fresh air. The football's back. You got a little cold coming through the nostrils.
Yeah.
Right.
Little football starts.
You're getting excited. But then also, too, you get those late night weekdays because it gets dark early. So what are you going to go do besides to go sit inside and watch a little bit of playoff baseball?
Baseball is what you do. And then they have a cool thing. It's better than it has a better term than the NFL playoffs. It has a better term than the NBA playoffs. It's the pennant race.
Okay.
The pennant. It's a race for the pennant. Oh, that's a whole different. I'll tune in for a race to the pennant. Playoffs.
Playoffs.
Everybody has playoffs.
Race to the pennant.
A race to the pennant. That's what I will tune in for.
I love it.
Here we are.
So we've got 7 games left in the season. And we're going to talk about my team, the Braves. You guys see behind us there. We got, the little helmet. I'm a huge Braves fan. They're 1.5 game ahead of the Phillies going into it. And they have a 3-game series left with Philly.
Yep.
So that's going to be massive.
I will tune in for that.
Massive. Every game should be on ESPN because basically how these guys, this division is so shitty. They have 82 wins. The other divisions, the Brewers, they've already solidified first place with 93 wins. The West Division is 99 and 101 with the Giants and the Dodgers. They've both locked in the playoff spot. They're facing for whether they're going to be a wild card or the number one seed.
Yep.
Could you believe that? And we're facing for the number 1 seed with 82 wins.
I think you guys just cleared 80.
So there's one spot left in the wild card, which right now the Cardinals have it, and they're 5 games above us and the Phillies. So, or 4 games in front of us. So I'm going to say, look, wild card's out of the question. We have to beat Philly.
You have to. Those 3 games, that stretch is going to be is going to be critical.
It goes Philly, and I think we have the Mets for 3 more after that.
Which I think should be...
That should be pretty cake. But so it's going to come down to...
Just take the series. I don't think you don't have to sweep it.
No, we have to take the Philly series, basically, because then it's going to be us to lose it, essentially.
Yep.
So it's going to be exciting to see how that plays out for the Braves. I'm going to be dialed in. We play the Padres tonight, and then three in Philly, and then it's October baseball. And look, October baseball, anything can happen. So it doesn't really matter what your record is the regular season.
Yep.
Once you're at the dance, it's ball. It's ball.
Again,
time.
That's one of my favorite things about baseball is it starts out, it's spring, right? Spring training, but it's still cool.
Yes.
In like New York and Boston. So they start the season wearing long sleeves, and then they get into the dead of summer, and they are hotter than balls. And everybody's just like, a 9-game. Baseball game is
9 inning game, yeah,
9 inning game. It wears them out.
Yep.
Because it's 100 degrees, and then they get to. But that's the only sport that I know that they start in long sleeves. They can't possibly wear less clothes if they wanted to, and then they end in long sleeves, and they're all bundled up.
Yeah, it ends in a hoodie.
Yeah, I love it.
It's beautiful, and that's what I love about it too. It's just kind of the change of it. And so that's on that side, and then the other side, basically all that's really kind of going after is the Red Sox and the Yankees, which is always a great series.
Always.
The Rays have already locked in a playoff spot. Right now, the 2 wildcard teams is the Red Sox and the Yankees. Perfect world, we have that wildcard game happen.
I would love that.
That would be,
game?
oh
Yes,
my
gracious.
goodness, would that not be an amazing wildcard playing game?
And they've had a great series this weekend.
They did. And right now, if wherever it would be in Boston if it were to end today.
Yep.
The game would be, they own the tiebreaker. They're in the 1 seed. So that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out too. I'm excited. I hope. And the Blue Jays are playing for a spot. The Red Sox play the Blue Jays coming up. It's going to be a crazy 7 games. And we haven't, for baseball, for me anyways, the last 2 years were kind of weird. Last year, they changed the playoffs a little bit, so a lot more teams got in, so there wasn't really a race in a sense. And there wasn't a wildcard game. It was a wildcard series. This year, they're back to the wildcard game. It's a bigger race. It's a little more tense now.
See, you're using the term. See, it gets in your head. It changes the whole dynamic.
It's exciting. We haven't, like I said, baseball hasn't had this kind of closeness in a while. I feel anyways, just at the end, with only 7 games left. Usually, it's pretty determined by now.
Do you want to make a bold prediction? What do you think with the Braves? Are they in?
I'm thinking they're in. And here's why I think they're in.
Go.
Okay, we've been going. Ryan, he's a big Braves fan as well, so we shoot back and forth with one another. Like, oh, we're going, we're not going, we suck. We're great, we suck. Last night we won in overtime against the Padres. Padres are a phenomenal team. Now they've choked and they're probably not going to make the playoffs. They should be a lot better than what they are.
Should be with that payroll.
But it doesn't matter. Fact of the matter is, we went into their stadium, went into extra innings, and pulled out the W, winning 10-8. Huge momentum builder because they knew how big that win was. Padres know how big that win was for them. They needed that just as much as we needed it because they're fighting for the wild card spot too. They
have a shot.
Yeah, they're only a few games back as well. I think they're about 5 or so game backs too. So they're fighting for that as well. So both teams were fighting for life, and for us to pull it off, I think that's that click that we needed to kind of get the ball rolling again. Baseball is all about being hot at the right time. We've been hot for a while, which concerns me a little bit too.
Because you feel like it'll tail off the wrong
but
time.
This almost like we hit that second win, like that Brian Ortega feeling where it's like
it's straight zombie.
We're just zombie mode. We
mode.
are flying. So last night really made me feel good. Like, we're gonna pull this off. We're gonna go take Philly. I think we got it.
All right. There's your bold prediction.
There's your bold prediction of the week.
Speaking of some bold predictions,
listen,
let's talk about it.
I'm excited for this segment here. So we have our pick'ems. Let me get the trophy here so you guys can see. I like to show this off as much as possible.
You really do. I'm impressed by your impressiveness.
We have our pick'ems that we do on Wednesday, and then we've got plaques that we're gonna put on.
It's the first time I've seen it in
person. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Right?
My gosh,
goodness gracious, right? So we have this pick'em thing, and I thought, I was like, oh, we've been doing pretty good.
Yeah, we've been on point with this.
On just kind of like a last minute, like, hey, let's do these picks, and then we'll roll with it. No really investigation, kind of just from the chest.
Little heart, little head.
So we want to have a segment where we do for you guys each week now, and we're probably gonna do more on Friday nights, so you guys have time to look at it, investigate, and put your picks in. But we're gonna make you guys some money.
Let's try it.
We'll make you some cash flow. We'll put some dough into the pocket.
Let's get the energy.
Ching. Let me get the music kicking, okay? Because we're gonna go ahead and give you guys some picks for this weekend. Today, Sunday.
The 4 o'clock games.
The 4 o'clock game.
And the Monday game.
And the Monday games.
The night game still.
I've got
the pick is in.
The pick is in, okay? We'll go back and forth. I'll do the first game because you have them over there on
I got 'em.
on your pad. We did again 4 o'clock games. We have the Jets at Denver. Denver is favored by 10. Okay, this is a tough one.
It is. It is. I mean, a 10-point difference in an NFL game is significant.
Yes, that's a huge one.
Roster is only, 59, 56 men? Like, you're getting the best of the best. I mean, it's not that.
It's not like it's college. It's NFL.
Right.
You should be losing this bad. However, when you're the Jets,
You're going to lose that
you're
bad.
going to lose by 10. We're taking
Denver in the mile high.
Hey, this is a parlay pick, guys. We're going the whole.
We're going the whole thing.
Picking all.
We're going
so
full board.
You guys buy into this. You got to pick the whole slate.
Look, we've got
Aaron. This is for you.
This is for you, baby. I'm not sure where the camera's at, but Quanka. All right, so we've got Miami at Las Vegas. Miami has no Tua.
No Tua, which I don't think is a huge.
I don't think it's a huge
or
loss,
downfall,
but I mean, you're going into a team that's played relatively well. And you're going into their stadium, which again is a brand new stadium that they couldn't even use last year. These fans are thirsty.
They're ready.
They're already crazy. They wear spikes. I mean, how many times do you think you go to a Raiders game and come home like just been appalled? You do not go into Las Vegas and come out with a W. We're taking Vegas over Miami.
3.5
with the spread.
3.5 is the cover. That's a no-brainer for us.
No-brainer.
Back to this one. I have this pick. I picked this game for our individual pick'ems.
Yes.
When I did the pick, there was points.
Now?
This game has now became a pick'em.
Woo!
There's no points involved. We're going straight with who's taking the W here. Listen, you guys know on this podcast, it's the Rams versus the Buccaneers. You know how we play on this podcast. TB12.
TB12. You
Twom.
can't bet against him.
It's the GOAT, baby. You know
can't
where
bet
we're headed
against
with
him.
this.
It's
a pick'em game, so don't care about the points. We're picking Tom.
Yeah, 2 great defenses. You got 2 quarterbacks that are established, but Stafford is not on the level of
He's not
TB.
Tom.
I will say that I think that the Rams have better weapons.
I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, so if you have any players on those teams for your fantasy football team, lock
you think
it
it's going to
in.
be a high-scoring game?
I think so.
I would take the under all day with those
Really?
2 defenses. With the Tampa defense.
Listen, if you guys want to get creative here, let's see over/under on what it is.
Yeah, let's take a look. But I mean,
We just got a text from Aaron.
Okay.
How funny was that? Go ahead and do the next pick while I look this up.
Let's do this. All right, let's talk about Seattle and Minnesota.
Okay, interesting one. We had this one made us kind of think for a minute.
We almost pushed this aside and talked about some other games so we could get this one done. Look, Seattle has been playing Seattle football all year. Like, they've just been the consistency that they are. Their defense isn't the defense that won the
Power of Legion.
Right. Yeah, the Legion of Doom. That's
Legion
what they were
of
called.
Doom. That's right. Thank you, Holly.
Power of Legion. Look, semantics at this point. Dalvin Cook, in typical Dalvin Cook fashion, is a little dinged up. They got to have that running game going. I still think that Seattle goes into Minnesota and gets the W.
It's only a 2-point cover.
It's a 2-point spread.
So basically, it's a pick'em game, which I think is respectable because Minnesota has had 2 tough losses.
Yes. But I just feel like Seattle has Minnesota's number. They've played I want to say 4 times in the last 6 years, and I think Seattle's won everyone.
I can't say yes or no to that.
Yeah, that one I'm pretty sure.
The over/under for the Rams-Bucks game.
Okay.
55.5.
That is insane. Wow.
I'm taking the over.
Yeah.
Taking the over. If you guys want to add a little parlay to the bet, take the over.
That's a tough one.
What do you want? What are you telling the people?
I'll go under.
Look them in the eye.
I'll go under on the oh God, 55.
Oh, look! Don't screw up.
You know what? I'm going under simply because I want to tell this twat that I was right. So look,
make sure you guys make your right bet here.
Other than personal pride, but
we're supposed to be on the same page in this segment, Holly. We're screwing it up.
No, whatever. We're confident here.
We have 2 games left. Can I do the last one? You do this one, and I'll do the next one.
You want to do?
Yeah, don't say it.
All right.
I'm going to do Monday night.
All right. We got Green Bay and we got Philly.
Because you had a great reason for this pick.
Look,
and I think that's why you need to do it.
Green Bay looked like the bottom of my foot when they visited.
Your feet don't look that bad.
Thanks, buddy. But they looked horrible when they came to Jacksonville to play the Saints. They bounced back last week. It
was the Lions, but sure.
It was the Lions, true.
Bounce
But look, Aaron Rodgers looks like he was his old form. He's getting back into what we thought Aaron was, and not maybe the week 1
Aaron
guy.
is. Yeah. Aaron Jones looked good.
Yep. But there's no running back. in San Francisco.
They're running out of all of them, dude.
I mean, they literally just got a guy from Florida State from a Canadian football roster, Jacques Patrick. Look, the Shanahan offense is a running offense. If anybody remembers the Super Bowl, that's all they did was run the ball. And they have no running backs. I mean, everybody is out with season-ending injuries. They're going into other teams' practice rosters to get running backs right now, and it's.
So who are we going with?
I'm going with Green Bay.
We get 3 points.
And they get 3, and they can't run the ball. Like that's Green Bay.
That's a no-brainer.
Yeah,
that's a no-brainer. The last one here.
You ready for it?
My last pick?
Yeah,
I'm ready. This is my homer pick. All right. I'm a big boys guy. I like the Cowboys. I like Zeke. I like what they got going on. I like the young core. They're playing Philly. Mm-hmm. Philly's young. Philly's new.
Very young.
Hasn't had a primetime game yet this season. Dallas has. They went into Tampa, played a tough game.
On a Thursday.
Covered the points for me on that one. Got me the dub. Okay? Last week, weren't favored. Covered the points. Actually won and got me the dub.
I ain't got you the W.
They got 3.5 points. Philly has 3.5, actually. Dallas is not favored on this one. We're still taking Dallas.
But it's at Dallas.
It's in Dallas.
At Dallas.
We're taking Dallas.
And I like what the Phillies are building, or the Eagles out in Philly. I like what they're building, but they're still young.
They're still young.
And I don't think they're on the caliber of Dallas just yet. And plus, Dallas is just hot right now. They're playing good football.
They're going to look good.
Back, yeah.
So, recap. We've got Denver. We've got the Raiders. We've got Tampa on the pick'em. If you want to add a little spice, pick the over-under on 55.5 for the Rams and the Bucks. Okay? I'm taking the over. Holly's taking the under.
I'm taking the under.
Seattle over Minnesota. Green Bay over San Francisco. And then the Dallas over Phillies. Those are your picks for the week, guys. Go make some money.
Go on.
All right.
No, seriously. Go.
Hopefully you guys plan out, make a lot of cash, and you're back here next week to get our picks. Or you lose a lot of money and you don't want to come back.
Put your likes or hates in the in the comment section there.
Listen, to let you know, I'm putting a $100 bill on this pick right here. Okay, that's how confident I am on my parlay. 100 bones.
That's bold.
100 bones on the. Steven goes, "Whoa! I didn't know we were doing all that."
That's crazy. You talking about real money? I'm happy to bet with other people's money.
Aaron, let me know what you're doing. I'm feeling pretty good about it.
Now he has no qualms. I get it.
He is crazy.
He'll up us in a heartbeat.
That's the music, Steven.
My man.
That means it's our time.
BDE headquarters, I have missed you.
It's good to have you back. Good to have you back in the studio, Steven, Chad, Holly. Be back here next week. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Leave down some comments. We're getting a ton of views. Not everybody that's watching is subscribing, so make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you like. Leave a comment as well. We will see you next week. I'm Shelton.
And I'm Holly.
Boogity, boogity, boogity.
Ow!